If I were to fall asleep while recording this video, the author of this book, Matt Walker, will be very, very happy. Welcome to Why We Sleep, a book summary, a book by Matt Walker. Let me start with a simple question. How many of you believe you can function properly, perfectly on 6 hours of sleep? Most people think they can. But here is the hard truth from sleep scientist Matthew Walker. The percentage of people who can survive on 6 hours of sleep without damage, rounded to a whole number, is zero. Zero. Sleep is not a luxury. It is not a sign of weakness. It is your most powerful biological system for recovery, performance, and long-term health. So all those people who think or they are told that you can sleep when you are dead, all that was total crap. Right? This is not a new book. I think this book came out in 2016 or 17. So it's been around. I have read it twice now. It's a very difficult book to read, I must caution you, but a very important book to read. And in this video, I will break down this brilliant book, Why We Sleep. We will cover 5 things. A quick summary, first of all, the science and chemistry of sleep, then how food and exercise impact sleep, and finally, what can you do starting tonight to sleep better, or whenever you are watching this. So first up, quick summary. Let me simplify the entire book for you. Sleep is your ultimate superpower. It is the most effective way to reset your brain and body every single day. But we are living through a silent sleep loss epidemic, and the consequences are very serious. Short sleep leads to a shorter life. It impacts your brain, your heart, your immunity, and even your emotions. I am sure you have met people or people have told you at times, have you not had a good sleep? This happens when you are cranky or you meet somebody who's very, very cranky. So you already know the signals. When people have not had good sleep or you've not had good sleep, you are cranky. Your emotions are not in control. The effect is much deeper, of course, on immunity, heart, and everything else connected to it. So sleep is extremely, extremely important. And the solution is not very complicated. There are 3 simple rules. First, stick to a schedule. Sleep at the same time every day. Same wake-up time every day. Second, keep your bedroom cool. Around 18 degrees Celsius for most of the world, but for tropical countries, this could be 20 or 21 degrees. Third, complete darkness, not dim light. Darkness. Sleep is not complicated, but it is very unforgiving. Think of when human beings started sleeping regularly. We sleep very differently from other animals. We are the only animal species which can willingly deprive ourselves of sleep. So this must be a habit we cultivated at some 50,000, 100,000 years ago. And where were we living at that time? In caves. And caves had no light at night. So the caves were dark. So it's very important to remember that the habit of sleep came around at that time, and the rhythm of sleep also came around at that time, and that is important. Next part is about the science and chemistry of sleep. Let us understand how sleep actually works. So sleep is not an off and on switch. It is controlled by 2 powerful systems. First is your circadian rhythm, which many of you may know about. This is your internal 24-hour clock. It tells you when to be awake and when to sleep. Second is sleep pressure. This is driven by a chemical called adenosine. Think of it as a sleep hunger. The longer you stay awake, the more it builds, and eventually you crash. Now, you would have experienced this when you are awake for a long time. You start eventually feel very sleepy and then you crash. This is not just feeling or emotion, it is the chemical buildup of adenosine in your body. Let's get a little deeper into the chemistry part of it. There are 3 key players: melatonin, adenosine, and caffeine. Melatonin is not a sleeping pill, it is a signal. It tells your body that it is now time to sleep. Adenosine builds the pressure. It makes you feel tired, and caffeine blocks that signal. It does not give you any energy, contrary to what you might think that your coffee is giving you energy. The sugar in the coffee is giving you energy, not the coffee. So get over that myth. It just hides your tiredness, and when caffeine wears off, you get that post-coffee crash that you all know about, and then you don't wake up for 12 hours. So it's all building up because all that adenosine that was building up during the day is still there. Now the chemistry part of it is away, so let us talk about the sleep stages. There are two main types, NREM and REM. REM is rapid eye movement, so NREM is non-REM, and REM is rapid eye movement, or NREM is also called deep sleep. This is your brain's cleaning system. It removes waste and stores memories. REM, which is REM, is your dream sleep. This is your emotional and creative system. It processes feelings, it connects ideas, it helps you think better. And here is something very, very important. The last 2 hours of your sleep is usually REM. So when you cut your sleep from 8 to 6, or if you are the type who sleeps comfortably for 7, if you cut it from 7 to 5, you are not just losing that 20-25% of your sleep. You are losing the most important part of your sleep. So you could be losing up to 60 to 90% of your REM sleep. This is a massive, massive hit. Because what REM is doing is during that REM cycle, you are making all the connections, the memories, the required memories are getting set. And in many ways, this is the therapy part of your sleep. So the non-REM is your cleanup part, where everything is being cleaned up and the connections are proper and files are filed away and everything. And in the REM part, you are making use of it, and the emotional part comes in and the therapy starts. It's a very, very important part of your sleep. Next up, how food and exercise impact sleep. Now let us bring this into our daily life. Firstly, alcohol. Those who drink and think that alcohol is a sleeping aid, it is not. It is just a sedative. But if you want to make the connection between alcohol and sleep, you are wrong. Sleep is actually adversely impacted by alcohol. Alcohol is a sedative. It knocks you out. It also destroys your REM sleep. So you will sleep, but you will not get much REM sleep. And we have already learned that REM is a very important part of your sleep. So when you are feeling tired, alcohol is not the solution if you want to get sleepy. In fact, after alcohol, if you sleep well, you will actually wake up feeling very tired. Second up, diet. So high sugar and low fiber diets are not only bad for your health, but they are also very bad for your sleep quality. They create fragmented sleep, which means that you have very sharp signs of REM and non-REM sleep, and too many of them. So you can sleep, but you don't recover very well. Third chemical is caffeine. Caffeine stays in your system for 6 to 8 hours and sometimes even longer. The half-life of caffeine is about 4 hours, which means after 8 to 10 hours, about 25% of that caffeine will still be in your body. So if you have your last coffee at noon, by around 9 or 10 p.m., you will still have 25% of that caffeine in your body. So people who have caffeine or coffee towards the evening, 4 p.m., 5 p.m. and later will have maybe half of that coffee in their body or caffeine in their body. And that is never good for sleep, because we have already learned that it is blocking the adenosine that is being created during the day, which eventually means that you will get delayed sleep, and then you will sleep for longer and you will not get very good sleep. So that evening coffee is quickly damaging your sleep. Even if you fall asleep easily, you will find that it is very difficult. Last one is exercise. Exercise is very powerful, but timing matters. Avoid heavy workouts 2 to 3 hours before bed, because your body needs to cool down before it sleeps, and exercise raises your body temperature, and that delays sleep. We have already told you that we built sleeping habits in caves, and caves were always cooler than the jungle was. So finally, what to do for good sleep? Now the most important part. What can we actually do? We have understood a little bit from Matt Walker as to what sleep is all about, the science of sleep and the chemistry involved, and how food and diet and exercise impacts. Of course, this is not enough for you to totally understand. I'll strongly recommend the book. But what can you do? Rule number 1, have a fixed schedule. Very, very important. Sleep and wake up on the same time every day, even on weekends. This is very, very useful. This is rule number 1. Rule number 2, follow the 20-minute rule. If you cannot sleep, get out of bed, do something relaxing in dim light. Come back only when you feel sleepy. So if you don't sleep for 15-20 minutes, don't force yourself. Your body is not ready for that sleep. Right? Do not train your brain to associate bed with stress. So if you feel stressed in your bed, you leave your bed and come out and do something else. Strong advice, don't watch TV or a screen because that is further damaging your ability to sleep. So read a book, do something, stretch, take a light walk around the house, and you will feel better. Rule number 3, extremely important, control light. Dim the lights 1 hour before bed. Screens reduce melatonin, so don't bring any kind of screen. And less light means better sleep. Final rule 4 is watch caffeine and alcohol. Stop caffeine after early afternoon. I already told you around noon. Avoid alcohol as a sleep tool. And final rule, cool your body. Take a hot shower before bed. It sounds counterintuitive, but when you step out, your body actually cools rapidly, and the need for a cooler room is kind of balanced a little bit, and the cooler body triggers sleep, because remember, you were in a cave when you built this habit. So if you felt a little colder, you will sleep well. When it is warmer in the room, you struggle to sleep, but when it is colder, it's easier to sleep. In closing, let me leave you with this. Sleep is not the thing that you do when everything else is done. Sleep is the thing that makes everything else possible. So treat it like that. Better thinking, better health, better relationships, better performance at work. If there is one habit you can fix this year, fix your sleep, because when sleep improves, everything else improves. And you can do it brick by brick, like everything else I talk about. So if you like this video, do subscribe to this channel for more such videos that I can bring to you. Till the next video, manage better.